Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to what promises to be an outstanding week for you all. A lot of fun, a lot of entertainment, some sessions somewhere in between all of this stuff. And how many of you is this your first time to London to visit us here? Raise your hands if it's your first trip here. Fantastic. Well, welcome to you all. You obviously didn't read the warning signs or take heed from anything people said last year. And it was all true. So, very short and sweet. We're going to do a little bit of an introduction, do a little bit of an overview of what's going on this week, and then we're going to get straight to the sessions. So I'm not going to take up too much of all your time today. I know we had a bit of a chaos going on downstairs, but nothing compared to the chaos that we had 3 years ago when we tried to do an evolutions conference previously, because this little baby decided to erupt on us, which then did that, which then did that. And chaos ensued as we suddenly realized the Saturday before the Evolutions conference 3 years ago that we ended up with only half the speakers that we actually planned to have here. Yet amazingly, everybody who was attending did amazing journeys to get here, driving across Europe from multiple countries to get here and be part of that event. And it was an amazing event. How many people here was at the Evolutions conference 3 years ago? Wow, welcome back. Welcome back. It was a journey, wasn't it? It was fun. I had, like, dreadlocks back then. But so, it's interesting, isn't it? So here we are again, 3 years on. We had an interesting week that week. But we've noticed that there's a pattern following us here. Has anybody actually been to all 5? Is this the 5th conference for how many people here? How many have been to all 5? A few people? Yeah, a few of you, all right, yeah. So you know the journey we've been on. 2009, the Best Practices Conference. There was a big rebellion for the Tamil stuff going on in Sri Lanka. Riots right outside our door. I couldn't have asked for better press coverage, I'm telling you. We were right there on the BBC, it was amazing. But they closed off all of Westminster Tube, everything. It was chaos getting here, but everybody got here. And then in 2011, they decided to organise a wedding. Which was quite amazing because it was brilliant to be so close to that and be, all the preparations were going on. And right outside the building, there was this massive stand for the media being created. In fact, one of the funniest things I remember about that conference when we were sorting it out, when we were told what was going to happen, was that we were able to get it must have been about a 15-meter banner put on top of the whole conference center because we insisted that they had to still see that the conference was here. So they had to raise it above the media stand. And in America, somebody was telling me that when they went back to the States, their family were watching the preparations for the wedding, and there we were. Fantastic. And of course, that was the year we had Chris Johnson, who was working with Microsoft then, he's here this week. Chris, are you here anywhere? Are you here? Yeah, oh, there he is at the back. Right, I noticed you're way away from me this time, aren't you? So Chris did the keynote that year. Little did he know we had a little surprise. Anybody remember this year who we got on stage to say hello to Chris? Only the Queen, right? So she came and said hello. Amazing year. So last year, I learned my lesson last year, which was to look at the calendar on every single day around the conference. When is the marathon? What else is planned? What protests are on the planning? Because there was a marathon on Sunday, which was great, because if you'd never seen a London marathon before, it was amazing. It was a great spectacle to see. Unless, of course, you were trying to cross the road from Westminster to here, which took us about an hour. It was ridiculous. So why should this year be any different, right? I had nothing to do with it. And you can't prove it. So, Wednesday. So for those of you who are visiting here from all over Europe, of which there are plenty of you from many, many countries, Now, obviously, whoever's got the 11:30 session, I'm kind of expecting half of the sessions to be kind of empty when they do kind of trundle the carriage down, because it is literally, just down the road that they're going to be taking the carriage down. And you will be able to go and see and take part in the event. And it's very special. We don't get to see one of the ceremonies like this very often in this country. So we're very lucky. They are, however, going to obviously lock the roads down in terms of traffic, not pedestrians. All the tubes are working. So I don't know how much you've all been kind of worrying about getting around on Wednesday. It's all good. You'll have no problems getting here whatsoever. In fact, the St. James tube station that's just behind the conference centre, there's zero effect on the roads or the traffic to and from there. You'll just have to negotiate if you're coming into Westminster getting across the main road, because they're going to have that sort of filtered traffic thing. The thing doesn't start till 11 o'clock anyway, so we'll be fine. But yes, I thought that was very nice of them. And again, there's cameras right outside. So just make sure when you're going back out to your hotel later that you wave, just as you walk in. So this is the traffic that they're doing. Obviously, that bit in the middle is where we are. So that's exactly where the procession starts from. But it does go in the opposite direction towards St. Paul's. But this is a conference that a lot of people still don't realise, and when we try to tell people, but they kind of don't believe us. This conference is still run by literally myself and Zoe. We plan the whole thing, speakers, sessions, the videos, the keynotes, the designs, everything. I mean, we plan it, we organise it, we design it. Obviously, we have a lot of people that help us do it. We kind of think of the ideas, and other people help us make it happen. And it's an amazing journey that we take. And 10 months ago, we started planning for this one. Our golden rule when we plan is don't do the same thing we did last year. That's the golden rule. It cannot be the same. It has to be something different. But I thought I'd share with you something that kind of makes me laugh. I don't know if Zoe's in here. Are you in here, Zoe, anyway? Or is she hiding? She's probably hiding, knowing Zoe. So this is what we end up with. This is the front of the guide. This is the guide that you've all got. It started with this. This is Zoe's sketch. She's going to kill me for this, you do it. But it's amazing, isn't it? So we have people that can turn that into what you're looking at for your conference guide. A lot of fun. So where else have we come from this journey that we've come to now? 2013, here we are in SharePoint land. Obviously our SharePoint Evolution conference is all about that. It's about SharePoint's evolving nature. Not just about the fact that we've got a new product, it's about the fact that we as people are evolving with the product and doing lots of cool stuff with it. Which is why you'll notice in the sessions, it's not all about 2013. Some of it's about maturing what you do with 2010, for example, making sure you make the most of the product before you move to 2013. But then these guys are also going to be saying to you, if you do go to 2013, what do you need to think about? And then showing you how the same thing works in that product. So there's 2001. And then we had 2003. How many people worked on 2001 in the audience? How many people there? All right. Todd, I should have known it was you. So, of course, 2001, I remember teaching in 2001, and the average size of a class in 2001 was about 6 people, and 4 of them were from the same company. 2003, we got a bit more volume coming through the doors. It was very busy 2003 in its deployments. Then we had 2007, obviously the turn of the ribbon, etc. 2010, and eventually to 2013. Of course, you'd think I'm just going to give you a slideshow, right? Anybody who knows me knows I hate slides when it comes to techie stuff, right? So, I thought I'd show you. Having said that, have you ever, VMs are a nightmare when you've got too many. I don't know how many I've got fired up here at the minute, but it's just a ridiculous amount. But there you go, there's a 2001 team site. And I know you can see no difference. Trust, I know. So here's a little document library that we created for Evolutions. And if I go into our settings and columns, see, look, we had this stuff. I still turn around to people and they say, add a column. A what? Create a new view. A what? See, look, we've got all this stuff here. You want a column? There's a column. Now, okay, we have a lot more today, right? But these things were here way back when. Of course, the way we stored it was totally different, and it was non-scalable. So, What did they give us after this? Now, of course, back in the day then, SharePoint was two separate products. We had Portal and we had the collaboration side, and never the two shall meet. I'm just going to switch to this lovely one here. So here's our 2003. Lovely blue. It was a nice colour blue, this one. This was the first bit where we started to integrate the portal, i.e. the taxonomy, the ability to find, with the collaboration in a team site logic. Although, again, the object model was totally different, so it wasn't like we could code against it easily. In fact, what we tended to find was that the developers were very much developing in the collaboration model, not the portal model. And we did tend to find that it was very much in this space that the custom code and the third-party products were flying around. And this was, of course, the first product that launched the vendors, really, because previous to this, there were very few vendors in 2001. In 2003, obviously, we started to get a lot more of the vendors showing their hand into SharePoint, which was really the start of the launch of the product in terms of scale. And, of course, SharePoint 2003 also gave us a lot more in terms of what we could do with collaboration, in terms of workspaces. Oh yeah, we've lost those, haven't we? Anyway, workspaces were cool back then. And then we go to 2007. Now you notice I'm flicking from virtual PC to there, because we do. Now 2007, of course, was the first time that we brought in a singular object model from a development perspective, which was great. It was also the first time that we got introduced to this lovely couple. And now, I mean, I'd love to meet them. I really would. Because I'm sure if they got royalties for this photo, they are lavishing it out at the minute in the Bahamas. And of course, 2007 was the time when we really started to see where Microsoft was using this as a platform, where they were integrating other products within it. You know, we could see where that SharePoint was becoming the platform of which other products were just going to leverage the power on top of. And we're just going to see that more and more and more as we progress with things like probably Dynamics and obviously project servers there, and Performance Point, and obviously the WCM side is already there as well. And as a collaboration front, again, it was maturing more and more with more functionality, more capabilities from an end user, business connectivity methods, and you know, we were getting a lot more that we could do under the hood. And as we progressed along to 2010, for example, and they're back, right? You know, they're still here, but they were joined by some friends. And of course, the famous thing for this was where we got the ribbon, the ease of navigation. Of course, ease of navigation is always subjective, isn't it? To a usability side, you know, how is it usable to a user? Well, that all depends on how we lay it out. It's not always intuitive for one set of users than it is to the other. But it was certainly a much better job in maturing that kind of usability effect and making it easier to get users to find their way around. And that obviously led us finally into 2013. But I'm not going to spoil the 2013 story for you all, because that's why you're here. But I do like playing with the bouncy buttons. I mean, that's just awesome. And not forgetting, of course, that they did decide to move the site actions to the right, to the left. I can't, somewhere, oh, actually it's to the right again, isn't it? There you go, it's right there, you see. And it's not called site anything anymore, right? It's just a cog. Because that was intuitive to my users. Has anybody here done IT support on the phone? Anybody here? Okay, actually, I'll rephrase that. Who's helped your dad on a computer? Press the cog button, Dad. Actually, my dad's coming today. He's not here yet, is he? But yeah, it's true though, isn't it? You know, it's like not always intuitive to on the phone to say to somebody, yeah, hit the cog. And they're like, what's a cog? The round thing with it. So it's interesting how, from a usability perspective, the product is shifting, it's evolving all the time, but we still have challenges that we have to undertake for deploying it and implementing it. Not just hardware, not just physical deployment, but also in terms of what the users are going to get. And that's something that hopefully you're all going to learn a lot more of this week. So that was a little tour around, because that was much better than a slide, wasn't it? But I've got to be conscious of time. Now, the reason you're all here, so let's just have a quick overview of what's going on. Apart from the sessions, you've all got your programs, so you can see what's going on there. Before I forget, I was meant to announce this, and I just need to make everybody clear. For the business track, if you're attending the business track, we've had to swap a session around this morning. Brad Smith, who was doing the sessions on Wednesday, is doing the first 2 sessions today. Paul Turner, bless him, has got laryngitis. He's still here and he's hoping to speak on Wednesday, so we're just shifting those 2 sessions around. So Paul's moving to Wednesday and Brad's doing the first business session. Everyone's like looking at them, well, what about the SharePoint? Come on. So we've got the exhibitor party in SharePoint tonight. Or is that the wrong way around? There's the exhibitor. There we go. So there's the exhibitor party. So this is straight after tonight, 5 o'clock. It's going to be in the exhibitor hall. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but it's Combined Knowledge's birthday this week. So it's all around a birthday theme. We decided to turn it into a little bit of a birthday party. There's no jelly or ice cream. Actually, there might be ice cream. But they'll be fun. So 5 o'clock till 7, some drinks outside, lots of games, lots of fun. It's going to be a really good night. So make sure you come to that. After that, we've got SharePoint. SharePoint is literally up the road from the conference center. It's like a 2-minute walk. We were talking about this last night. When we first came here 5 years ago, we went to this same pub, and we said to the landlord, we're looking for a pub to do a SharePoint. And of course, he turned out and said, oh yeah, I use SharePoint. Yeah, really good, really good. And he said, how many people are going to come? I went, quite a few. And he said, oh, I'll give you the room upstairs. I said, how big's that? And he went, oh, it could fit at least 60 people. I said, that's not going to work. He didn't believe me. 200 people came in that night. It was rammed. From that year on, he's given us the pub. So we have the whole pub. It's great. It's a wonderful night. So you get to network, have fun, have drinks, and it's a great night. Lightning Tools are sponsoring it officially. Yay! Which means there's drinks vouchers. And you must go to the Lightning Tools booth and they will give you drinks vouchers for tonight. I do notice that Brett put on his little thing, first come, first serve. That could be problems. I'm sure he keeps some in reserve if you don't get there early. Tomorrow night. Oh my word. So this is 10 months in the making. 10 months, 10th anniversary party. We can't tell you what's happening. That's a secret. All you know is now where it is. So we have taken over the world's, one of the most famous nightclubs in the world, Pasha, for a party. I'll give you one hint. I think the entertainment stops after 6 hours. You will enjoy it. Plan for a good night. That's all I'm going to tell you. But you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And obviously you need your wristbands to get in. And there are free drinks for that as well. AvePoint, I'm not going to tell you how many tickets they've got to give out, but it's a lot. And you've got to go to their booth today and tomorrow to get their vouchers. They're going to hold them all out throughout the next 2 days, so just take your time, head up there and get some vouchers over the next 2 days for your drinks. And Knowledge Lake has also got some vouchers, and so has CK. But if anybody remembers me from last year, I tend to walk around at the actual conference party with a big pack of them in my pockets that I just hand out to everybody as we go around. So don't worry if you run out of drinks vouchers. There's always more. But it'll be a good night. It'll be a really good night. Now, obviously, #SP Evo is our tag. Any questions you've got that you'd like to put to the panel on Wednesday afternoon for the final Q&A wrap-up? That's at 4:15. Now, if you've never been to the Q&A panel, a lot of people tend to shoot off early on the Wednesday. If you can make it, it is so worth staying and asking any questions you've got from the week and coming up and just, I mean, we literally have, the panel up here of speakers is just phenomenal. I mean, I tried to work it out. If you actually tried to contract these guys for the time that they're here, it was like over $500,000 worth of talent that was on there answering questions. And that was just Spence. You know you could. So yeah, I mean, Wednesday, that it really is a great last session and wrap up to the conference. And you can just come and ask questions. You can tweet your questions first, or we'll get them ready for you, get the right people to answer it. But just come up and be part of that. And that'll be the final wrap up at 4:15. There is free conference Wi-Fi, if you've not noticed yet. It's the SharePoint Evo ID. It's just sign up, accept the terms, which is the terms basically say, if you've not read them, that we own your third-born child, but by the by. And no password, just go straight in. And all that remains me to say is thank you very much for coming. I hope you have a great 3 days. Find me, come and have a chat. We're around all week. And have a great conference. And thank you all for coming. And we'll see you during the next 3 days.